So we're starting blue with Astrologian's Planisphere. It's got a Lalafell on it from 14, which are like Tarus, but better, but they're still worse than everybody else. In blue, though, this is another job select, and job select is good. This is an equipment, it's blue, and the equipped creature is a wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, and whenever you draw your third card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So it's a 2-mana 1/1 that has this like Spellslinger growth ability that also triggers on draw. That's all right. Somebody's asking, what do I think about gnomes if I feel this negatively about Taru and Lalafell? I've played a gnome before, and a dwarf, and a goblin, in WoW. I like little guys. I just don't like Taru. Cargo ship. 2 mana, flying, vigilance, vehicle that taps for 1 colorless mana, but the mana can only be used for artifact spells or abilities of artifacts. Car goes ship, and you can crew it for 1. Neat. That feels very... I like this art. It's kind of cool. Is this perma prowess? It is. It's kind of like Sprite Dragon and a couple other cards. I think there's like an otter that has a similar ability too. Combat tutorial. You have to learn how to play the game before you play the game. As long as you don't have to learn how to use the sphere grid, because that's only in the commander set. Electrostatic infantry. Yeah, and some of the weirds have that same growing on spell slinging ability. 3 mana sorcery. Target player draws 2 cards. Okay, so you can target your opponent. Put a +1/+1 counter up to 1 target creature you control. Will somebody in limited use this to force their opponent to draw out and then win the game? Yes. Yes, they will. But for the most part, this is just divination plus. And that's kind of nice. I will say there's a reason why this has target player, and I'm going to say it has this ability that targets a creature. If this just targeted a creature, or up to 1 target creature, you could stop the card draw by killing the creature. By having it also target player, it's harder to interrupt. That is why they did this. That's like the card design philosophy behind it. But yeah, that's definitely a fine card for limited. Divination tends to be pretty nice and limited. Dragoon's Wyvern. It's not a dragon, it's a drake. 3 mana, 2/1 flying. When it comes into play, you get a hero token. So it's like a 2/1 and a 1/1. Not bad. Dreams of Laguna. 2 mana, instant. Surveil 1, then draw a card. It has a flashback of 4. That's not bad. I could see that seeing play in some spell slingy decks, but it's tricky because it is at like 2 mana and then 4. But surveilling sets up your graveyard, sets up your draw. It's definitely not bad. Edgar, King of Figaro. 6 mana, 4/5. Human Artificer Noble. When he enters, you draw a card for each artifact you control. And he has a 2-headed coin. And yes, some people have already pointed out ways to break this ability. The first time you flip 1 or more coins in each turn, those coins come up heads and you win those flips. So anything that is a simultaneous coin flip, you win the flip. If you flip a coin and then flip another coin as a result of the first one, only the first one, I believe, is affected. But if there's something that, you know, you're flipping lots of coins all at once, this will go. Stitch in Time approves. Yes, it will guarantee you getting the extra turn. I believe that's what Stitch in Time is, right? It's like if you win the coin toss, you get an extra turn. So this is great in coin flipping decks. Notably, he does not have any coin flip abilities. So in limited, he just draws you a bunch of cards based on your artifacts. Hey, Too Spooky, thank you for the sub, and welcome, Mimictus. There's a roll that flips coins. Yes. With Mirror March and Delina, it will guarantee you a heads up for the first flip, but I believe all the other flips come in sequence, so it won't do it for that. Somebody's welcome to correct me. Coin decks won't run this because they love the thrill of gambling too much. I don't know. Eject. The spell can't be countered. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Draw a card. So that's a 4 mana, like Into the Royal type of card. It's not bad. The fact that it can't be countered is cool. Definitely will save you in some situations. Yes, the Brawl Zarek that just has the name Brawl Zarek flips 5 coins, takes an extra turn. So like with Brawl Zarek and Edgar, you flip 5 coins simultaneously, which would cause you to take 5 extra turns because for each coin that comes up heads, you take 1. That's kind of hard to set up because you have to like get him to ult. But yes, that is how it works because it's all of them are flipping at the same time. Ether! 4 mana artifact. Tap it, exile it, add blue. When you next cast an artifact or sorcery this turn, copy that spell. You can choose new copies or new targets for the copies. Cool. Would I play this in limited? Probably not. And in constructed, this would be used to copy extra turn spells. What else is new? Go-Go, Master of Mimicry. I'm glad they gave Go-Go a cool card. So, 3 mana, 2/4. This is a wizard that copies abilities. You pay XX. Target or copy target activated or triggered ability you control X times. You can choose new targets. The ability can't be copied, and X can't be 0. So you cannot copy this copy ability. But that means for 2 mana and a tap, you can copy whatever triggered ability you want that you control. You have to control it. For 4 mana, you do it twice. You're getting 3 of them, the original plus 2 more. There's a lot of really good abilities that you can copy. Things that enter the battlefield and destroy stuff. I could see this being like a pretty interesting card to build around. As far as being a commander goes, it'll be a little slow and a little cool, but like somebody will try it. What's this? Are there any extra turn abilities in Commander? Yes. Yeah, but it has to be a triggered or activated ability. But still, getting to copy that for like just 2 mana, that's really nice. It reminds me of Lithoform Engine. And Lithoform Engine does see play, especially in like decks that are trying to do something absolutely egregious. Yeah, I think it will go in the 99 more frequently because it's mono blue as a commander. Ice Flan! Gotta have our weird monsters in here. 6 mana, 5/4, Elemental Ooze. When it enters, tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. You can also cycle it for an island. Nice. There's one of these in each color, so you can discard it, get yourself an island, even a non-basic island if those exist in this. Maybe you could reanimate the Ice Flan later. I don't know. I don't have a problem with that. Ice Magic. It's Blizzard. 2 mana, instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand. 4 mana, Blizzara. Target creature's owner puts it in their choice at the top or bottom of their library, so that they're like totally lost for a creature. Or Blizzaga for 8 mana. Target creature's owner shuffles it into their library. Wow, okay, so most of the time, this is going to be Blizzard or Blizzara. Blizzaga is for, hey, you know what? I have all the mana in the world and I don't even care about it. Yeah, as far as like putting this in Constructed, I don't think it would see much play in Constructed because we have other bounce spells. You like it for the Force Shuffle? 8 mana for a Force Shuffle. There's been a way we can do this. My cat just came in here. While I was gone for the last 3 days, I was at Riot doing some stuff for Riftbound. My cat, Scraps, kept coming up onto the desk while my partner was home playing like Civ 7 and laying down on the desk. Like, girl, you don't do that for me. How come you don't lay down on the desk for me? It's probably because I'm always like making noise and talking to her. Does that make the spell cost 8 mana? Like have a mana value of 8? I have a feeling that it has a mana value of 2, and this is essentially kicker. Ilmeg Pixie. Oh, that's cute. 2 mana, 2/1 flyer, 1 an attack, surveil 1. So I've been very clear about this in limited. I think 2 mana, 2/1 flyers are good in limited. Now, I haven't seen if there's other, like, 1/1 flyers that would be bodying this. But it even has an extra surveil ability. It's kind of like the Night Veil, whatever, Pixie, the Surveyor. The first set that introduced Surveil had a similar card to this. Because there's a little bit of Surveil payoff before they put it on everything. I like this, though. I think this is a very solid card to play. And if you can get it out early, it'll get some serious damage in. Jill. She was dominant. Oh, I should also mention, I think this is playable in some fairy decks. If you are looking to, like, add more fairies to your fairy deck, this is a decent fairy. Here we go. Jill, she was dominant. So this is another one of those creatures that turns into the summons. A human noble warrior, 3 mana, 2/2. When Jill enters, return up to 1 other target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Wow, that's a good jellyfish. All right, sign it. This is good and limited. It's jellyfish. It's your mana war. But it can hit non-land permanent. That's great. 5 mana, tap, exile Jill, return it to the battlefield transformed into Shiva, Warden of Ice. You can mesmerize twice and then have a cold snap. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Remember, this doesn't have haste because it exiles and then comes back on the other side. So first turn, it's a 4/5. Make something can't unblockable. Awesome. Second turn, can even make itself unblockable because it can attack. Third turn, tap all lands your opponent's control. Exile Shiva. It comes back. This is a good jellyfish. We like a good jellyfish. Scraps, would you come up here? You look like you want to bite my foot. And I'm not into that. You're very cute, though. I mentioned before that there's some really weird names in Final Fantasy XIV. Like Luisu. Chat, did I get that? Luisu's Sacrifice. Instant. 1 mana as an additional cost to cast the spell. Louisoix? It's Louisoix? Okay, I don't know how to say French, so thank you. Yeah, 14 has like the weird, like, fake names. Thank you. I appreciate it. He's French. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you either sacrifice a legendary creature or you pay 2. Counter target activated ability, triggered ability, or non-creature spell. So this is a 1 mana counter spell with a caveat. It's either 3 mana or you have to sack a legendary creature, not just a legendary card. I feel like this is not something I would play in limited. This feels like something that you play in CEDH, where you have Rogok, the free commander, so you can sacrifice it for free. So yeah. This is a scene from when Final Fantasy XIV revamped itself. Nice. It's very cool. Very cool. It's something you play to reboot your MMO. Yeah, you have to sacrifice your old MMO to make a new one. Because Final Fantasy XIV did not get a good player base on its first run, and it was not very good. Now it is okay. It's pretty fun. It's just not for me. The Lunar Whale. This is a 4 mana 3/5 vehicle. You can look at the top card of your library at any time, and if the Lunar Whale has attacked this turn, you can play the top card of your library. Only costs 1 to crew. It's not a bad vehicle. I feel like a 4 mana 3/5 flying vehicle is pretty nice. It is a vehicle whale. Oh, you're saying you don't like that it doesn't have the creature type? No, it does not have the creature type. It does not. It seems fine for limited. It's a rare, though. Magic Damper. You're gonna wish you hadn't. It's a 1 mana instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 and hexproof until end of turn, and you untap it. We mentioned before when we were looking at the cure the healing magic, that there is a good amount of single target removal. So something like Magic Damper will probably be helpful to have unlimited, just paying one of them. If Nadu decks were still the same that they were, this is the kind of card you could run in Nadu to help protect it and get more triggers. Magic Damper, though, seems fine. Seems fine. It's blue snake skinish. Yeah. We've had similar cards before. The untap is actually really nice because it could give you a surprise blocker. It's like Shore Up. It is Shore Up. Matoya Archon Elder. 3 mana, 1/4. Whenever you scry or surveil, you draw a card. Okay, if you have a bunch of surveils, we saw that 2/1 flyer that surveils when it attacks, you draw. I like that. I feel like in limited, it is just a 1/4, unless you have those other surveillors. So you might want to like pick that up later. Like, oh, look, the rare. Or you pick it early and you pick up a couple surveillors. So far, those have been mostly uncommons or rares, though. Is Arena getting a pre-release event? Yes, this Wednesday I will be playing Final Fantasy in Arena. Yay! But only for one day, or like 24 hours. So if you want to see me playing these cards in Arena, I'll be doing draft. I'm trying to find somebody to play Brawl with, but if I can't find anyone, I'll just like brew decks and, I don't know, cry there quietly holding my cards to myself. Did I have trouble loading this website? No, but this is a resource-intensive website that I'm using for the review, so if your computer is not up to task, it may have some issues. Memories Returning. This is a 4-mana sorcery. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. Oh, they're next to their kid selves. That's cute. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand. Choose an opponent. In 1v1, it's your one opponent. They put one on the bottom of your library, and then one into your hand. Then they put one on the bottom of your library, and the others go into your hand. So it looks like your opponent and like you and your opponent are essentially drafting cards where it's like there's 5 of them. You get one into hand. Your opponent puts the next one away. Then you get another. Then they put one away. And then you get another. So you get 3, and they put 2 of them back. It's kind of fact or fiction-y. Except, and this is so sad, it doesn't make a pile. Which means it doesn't trigger Celestial Toymaker. I've run a Celestial Toymaker deck. It's really annoying. One day you'll see it on camera, I hope. But for now, I'm just always on the lookout for anything that makes piles. Any piles here? No piles. Oh, none here. The Prima Vista is a 5-mana, 5/3 flying vehicle. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, so that does include any like additional costs, kicker, those scaling tiered cards, it becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Essentially, it's a free crew. Otherwise, it is a crew of 2, so it's not that bad. It's kind of expensive for what it is, but it will end games quickly because it's a big flyer. Wait, did Selphie not get her own card? Really? Oh. That's actually kind of surprising because I feel like she's a very well-known character. Maybe I'm just, like, of the age where I know a lot of people who are really into Final Fantasy VIII. Strange. Okay. Keycurn Merchant. This thing is cute. I'd buy its nuts. 3 mana, 1/4. Beast Citizen. Pay 1, tap, draw a card, discard a card. It loots. It's a Beast Citizen, aren't we all? 7 mana, tap, sacrifice this creature, draw 3 cards, and this ability costs 1 less to activate for each town you control. Towns are the special kind of land. We saw one attached to an adventure before. Okay, I would say that at like 5 or 4 mana, if you have 3 or 2, towns. That's not a bad ability. It seems okay for a common. I like that it also has the loot and it's got like a pretty big butt, but it is 3 mana too. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the artist name on this. The artist is Tooge369. Alright. Sure. 3 mana, 2/2 blue magic. When it enters, you can cast target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard. And if that any type can be cast... Oh, can be spent to cast that spell, and if it would be put into a graveyard anyway. It's crime! You can cast your opponent's spells from graveyard. I wish this had Flash. She is not a Snapcaster. Gamer name. Yeah, let's go Tooge. Tooge making Christus Trape. We love this. I think this is a cool card. I could see putting this into a crime deck for fun and flavor. I also think it's pretty decent for limited because it is a slow Snapcaster that lets you also steal removal out of your opponent's graveyard because it says a graveyard. Togi? You think it's Togi 369? Maybe. Maybe. It's their gamer tag. Realms sketching. Toge? It definitely could be Toge. You can find them on Twitter. Them being Japanese does not mean that they say their name in Japanese. I know enough people who use just like things they think look cool. It's in hiragana as their name though. Oh, on Twitter. That's cute. Okay, good to know. It's strange to me that they kept their numbers in. Realm Sketching is a 4-mana sorcery that creates a token that's a copy of an artifact, creature, or land. Not bad. It can copy your opponent's stuff too. These are usually pretty nice to have. They make you a copy of the best thing in play. Where this is kind of bad is with things that would be able to transform. Otherwise, there's a lot of transforming cards. If those things that transform would exile and then return, you can't do that with a token. But for things that transform in place, tokens are two-sided these days, which means that you can flip something over. It won't work with any of the sagas, though. It can also be mono blue ramp. Yes, you can copy a land. You want this to steal an opponent's fierce guardianship? Do it. Can't hit enchantments. It can hit creatures. So if a saga is, let's say it's Bahamut. It's the backside of Dion. It is a creature. It is a summon. And it will go through the chapters and then it will just like disappear instead of transforming back to the front side. Yeah, because the sagas in the set are saga creatures. Retrieve the Esper. 4 mana, sorcery, create a 3/3 blue robot warrior artifact creature token. That's so much text. Sure. It's a robot warrior. If the spell was cast from a graveyard, it also gets 2+1/+1 counters. Okay, neat. So it's 4 mana, make a 3/3, and later, or just if you discard it and playing it from the graveyard, 6 mana, make a 5/5. Not bad. If there's token synergy too, that could be cool. Rook Turret. It's a construct. It's a 4 mana 3/3 flyer. It is an artifact though, so it's susceptible to all artifact things, and it benefits you for all artifact things. Whenever another artifact you control enters, you may draw a card if you do discard a card. So it's an artifact looter. It's also like a pretty sizable flyer. I feel like that's not bad. Sage's New Liths. Okay. 2 mana. It's got job select. It's an equipment. So it comes with a 1/1. And the 1/1 gets +1/+0. And whenever this creature attacks, untap target attacking creature. So it can untap itself. It's also turned things into a cleric. Neat. I'm looking at Viera looking thing. Is that a Viera? Are Viera the ones that they also have in 14? Seems efficient for the cost. Good. Seems fine. Sahajin. It's a fish. It is a Viera? Yay! Wait. It's a Miqote? Uh-oh. It's a Harm Assist? Uh-oh. She does have a knife. Or, like, 4 flying knives. Miqote? I don't know. I apologize. Sahajin is a 2-mana, 1/3 Merfolk warrior. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It can't be blocked this turn. So it does grow over time as you cast those big non-creature spells. And that does include, like, if there's bigger equipment and stuff. That's not bad. Oh, somebody's saying that the ears are long, so it's bunny. Okay. It's Viera. We need our bunny girls and bunny boys. This guy has a lot of S's in its flavor text. Imagine seeing a good Merfolk. It's not bad. I feel like it's very much like a decent card for limited, but I don't think it would see play outside of limited. Needs to work on that lisp. It's used to talking underwater. Scorpion Sentinel. Hey, I remember these robots. 2 mana, 1/4, as long as you control 7 or more islands. It's +3/+0. Okay, so 7 or more islands is a lot to ask. This being a 2 mana 4/4 would be rad and limited. That assumes you are in, like, just 2 colors and you have played every single island in your deck, pretty much. Or, like, more than... you have a lot of blue. Yeah, if you're in mono blue, it's not as impressive, but it's like, it's just lands. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it said islands. Clearly, I'm tired. I am jet lagged. 7 or more lands against +3/+0. That is still, like, later game. This is, you play this on turn 2, it can block. By the time you get to, like, let's say turn 9, maybe you have 7 lands, unless you're actively trying to ramp lands. It's okay. It's not that impressive. It is a common. So I'm saying it doesn't look like a scorpion. So it has the pincers in front. That's the body with the legs. And then there's the tail that comes over the top. That's why it's like a scorpion mech. I didn't sleep much last night because I came in off my flight, got home by like 9 p.m. after flying for like 6 hours. And not sleeping much because everybody wants to stay up really late in California. Guys, 10 p.m. is 1 a.m. for me. It's really hard. Sleep is for the weak. Sleep is for the me. I'm weak. Side quest. Card collection. You gotta get your cards so you can play. Is it also Triple Triad and 14? I think it's also Triple Triad and 14 for card gaming. 4 mana. Enchantment. When this enchantment enters, draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. At the beginning of your end step, if 8 or more cards are in your graveyard, you transform it into a magic card. Don't you mean magic card? Because that's what we're playing. It's a flying 4/4 vehicle with crew 1. It's like a magic lantern. Weird. So it gives you a tiny bit of card advantage and then flips over into a vehicle. It's a mount you get for collecting a lot of cards in Final Fantasy XIV. This feels like a weird thing to include, but all right. It costs 4 mana, so it triggers all those things that care about spending 4 more mana on a non-creature spell. That's relevant. Sleep magic. It's an aura. It taps the enchanted thing. And the enchanted creature does not untap during its controller's untap step. When the enchanted creature is dealt damage, the aura gets sacrificed. So if you have a way to ping it or burn it, then you are able to, I guess, get rid of the aura. Or if you have a way to untap it so it can block once, then the aura will fall off and it will then untap normally. It's kind of nice. This feels like good limited removal at 1 mana. It feels pretty difficult to get rid of, at least with what I've seen so far. And we were talking about Stiltskin before. The Moogle that gives permanence you control to other people. this would be the kind of aura that exchanging control of would be fine, because it doesn't say enchant creature you don't control. It just says enchant creature. So you could give, I guess, ownership of this. Yeah, it doesn't remove abilities, but it's 1 mana. That's why it feels like it's decent for limited. We have to slap a guy to wake them up. Stolen Uniform, a 1 mana instant. Choose target creature you control, target equipment. Gain control of that equipment. Until end of turn. You steal it for 1 turn. Attach it to the chosen creature. Bless you, thank you. When you lose control of the equipment, if it's attached to a creature you control, it unattaches it. So that's pretty nice. You temporarily steal equipment, and then it falls off of whatever it was attached to, forcing your opponent to re-equip it. Do I think it's amazing? No, I do think it's kind of fun, though. You could also use this to freely equip your own stuff. If you don't lose control of the equipment because you targeted an equipment you do own, it's just equip the equipment for the spell. That's what it does. Yeah, it attaches Colossus Hammer. Everybody knows exactly where I'm going with this. Stealing an Embercleave, then an opponent flashes in? Yeah. You think the equipment was dusty? That's why I'm sneezing? Yes. I'm also pretty sure I'm sneezing because it's constantly just allergy o'clock for me. Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. Huh. 3 mana, flash, enchant, artifact, or creature. Yeah, a lot of job select are expensive to attach. When this aura enters tap enchanted permanent doesn't untap during its controller's untap step, and its abilities can't be activated. So this is not getting rid of triggered abilities, but otherwise it's kind of like a capture sphere. It's not terrible. It is only 3 mana instead of 4, which is what that removing all abilities usually is. Doesn't seem bad, though. It's one of those, you use the removal that you got. There's an air quality alert in your area. There's probably one in mine, too. Happy pollen season. Summon Leviathan. 6 mana, 6/6 with Ward 2. But it only sticks around for 3 turns, because it returns each creature that isn't a Kraken, Leviathan, Merfolk, Octopus, or Serpent to its owner's hand. Then it has until end of turn. Whenever a Kraken, Leviathan, Merfolk, or Octopus, or Serpent attacks, you draw a card. So it comes out, bounces a lot of stuff, maybe swings in and draws a card, and then goes away. It seems okay. That big bounce on it is, I think, the big reason that you'd play it unlimited. It's the first chapter. You were saying they don't like that the butt windows were avoided. What, in this? Yeah, there's a bunch of cards that care about, like, giant sea creatures. It's like Kiora's besties. Kind of cute. It's a mass board bounce that has some extra value to it. Might get some damage in. Might get you a card draw. There's another big saga critter, Shiva. We had seen another Shiva before, but this is a standalone Shiva. 5 mana, 4/5, Heavenly Strike. Tap, target a creature an opponent controls. Stun it. Do that when it comes in. Do it the turn after. And then draw a card for each tapped creature your opponent controls. Nice. So this seems fine. It's a 4/5. I kind of wish it flew, but it's possibly getting in 4 damage or just protecting you. And it's going to probably draw you like two cards. Not bad. It's kind of tricky to evaluate all of the saga creatures because they're so short-lived. Swallowed by Leviathan. 3 mana, instant, choose target spell, surveil 2, then counter the chosen spell unless its controller plays 1 for each card in your graveyard. So if you cast this on turn 3, you can put 2 cards in your graveyard and try to make your opponent pay based on that. Also, I think that this is similar to a removal spell that had come out a couple sets ago that was maybe an Aether Drift, where it was like you mill Quag Feast. You mill and then it kills depending on the mana value. That's weird. It's a counterspell with an upside in graveyard decks. I wish this didn't cost 3 mana. Drown in the Loch is an older one. It's okay. I feel like the rate on it isn't quite good enough, but the like 3 mana counter a spell unless your opponent pays 3 is okay. And it also gives you the benefit of Surveil, where it's like you get to set up the top card of your deck, and the longer the game goes on, the harder it is to get around this counter spell. Yeah, I don't like it for limited. Syncopate, getting a reprint with Seymour on it. It's X blue, and you counter the spell unless your opponent can pay X. And then if the spell was countered this way, you exile it instead of putting it into your owner's graveyard. So this is kind of like similarly, let's say you pay this, X is 2, so 3 total mana. You were surveilling 2. They have this. But also it has the exile clause, and it's just flexible throughout the game. It's a very good limited reprint. And it has a chance of seeing especially sideboard play and constructed, depending on what's the hot thing right now. Horse Seal Cutter? Sorry, if you go second, you're not dealing with that. Thief's Knife. I think we actually already have Syncopate legal and standard right now, because it was printed in a lot of sets. I'm actually going to double check that. Thief's Knife, though, this is another job select. Equipment, Syncopate. View all prints. No, it's actually out because, no, we have Dominaria United, right? That's still in standard? Or was it not in Dominaria United? It was just in Dominaria? Me struggling to remember what sets it's imprinted in. No, I think that it was out of standard and now it's back. I'm just double checking. Icky flavor text? Your eyes, they burn with resolve. Beautiful. Listen, Yuna gonna marry that boy. Assuming everything goes according to Kaikaku. Why is it equipped for? Because it comes equipped to a creature for free. So the job select equipment all tends to be pretty cheap. It comes and it automatically equips to a guy. So we have, you get a 1/1. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, so it's a 2/2. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, and it's a rogue. Yeah, you select them Jorbs. I feel like 3 mana 2/2 that has a curiosity effect is not bad. It's not that impressive either. Travel the overworld on your best friend. Hi, Bartz. You having fun there? Running around? 7 mana sorcery with affinity for towns. Draws 4 cards. So if you have 4 towns, this is awesome. But how many towns are you going to have? It's Boko, right? Boko is the name of Bartz's mount. Bartz and Boko. How many towns are you going to have in constructed? None. How many are you going to have in limited? Maybe 3. 3 if you're really pushing for it. But at 7 mana, woof. At 6 mana, actually okay. At 5 mana, hell yeah. At 4 mana, the dream. Are you going to get it for 4 mana? Probably not, unless you're like really forcing towns. How many towns are there? You're going to see those mostly at the end. But there are 30 total towns, I believe, available in limited. And the most important ones is that there are these dual towns, which are just the basics that tap for one of either color. So, like, they're your fixing for limited. Then there's also, like, this is a rare town that has 2 colors. I think it might be the only one. It also turns into a vehicle. And then you have the rare cycle of adventure lands that are towns. But those are rares. 30 is a decent number. Yeah. Ultros, obnoxious octopus. You fight him in the opera house because clearly he doesn't appreciate the arts. 2 mana, 2/1, or maybe you don't appreciate the arts. 2 mana, 2/1. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if 4 mana was spent to cast it or more, you tap a creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Seems annoying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 8 mana was spent to cast it, Ultros gets +8/+8. Like 8 +1/+1 counters. Sweet. What is limited? Limited is a way of playing Magic where you are just using the cards you opened in whatever the event is. Whether that's draft, where you sit at a table, open packs, take cards and pass them around, or sealed, where you just open 6 packs and build a deck. There's also other weird forms of limited, but those are the 2 main ones. Hey, Ultros. I think Ultros seems fine for limited. I don't think you're going to be casting 8 or more mana on many spells, but as you saw, some of the, like, tiered spells, like Blizzaga, they cost 8 mana. You could spend 8 mana on them, which means you might get there if you just happen to have those spells and happen to have Ultros out. Some of the flashback spells also cost a lot. Valkyrie Aerial Unit, 7 mana, 5/4 with Affinity for Artifact. Now, Affinity for Artifacts I feel is much more doable because red-white is equipment and blue-white is artifacts. I'm kind of getting those as themes here. This is a 5/4 flyer. It can cost as low as 2 mana. When it enters, you surveil too. Not bad. It will probably be okay in very heavy with artifact decks because it's a big flyer. If you could play this for 5 mana, that's great. Look at his smile. And now the next one in that crystal series, the Water Crystal. Water Crystal, 4 mana, legendary artifact. Blue spells you cast cost 1 less. If an opponent would mill 1 or more cards from either player's abilities, they mill that many cards plus 4 instead. You can also pay 6 and tap to have each opponent mill cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. And then plus 4. Because that's what it says on this. If you play this with Mesmeric Orb, for each time they would mill 1, they would mill 4. Which... intense. Water Crystal and Mesmeric Orb. What a thing to do to someone. It's interesting. Yeah, they would mill... sorry, plus 5, so it would be 5 per mill because it's 1 plus the 4. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's like an interesting way to close out a game, is mill. And it's interesting to see more mill pieces. Mill pieces just tend to be kind of expensive. But it's probably because people don't like it when they die to mill. If this ends up being a grindy format, that tap ability may actually be the sort of thing that ends games. So it does help discount your blue stuff, but I wouldn't say mill is usually what you're doing in limited. Do I have to use the language mill? Yes. Oracle text would need to say mill. Mill does win some games in limited. Ishtola Rule. She has a card in the set? Okay, cool. So I was like, wait, isn't that from the Commander set? There's a different one in the Commander set. 6 mana, 3/5. At the beginning of your end step, exile target creature you control. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. And if it's the first end step of the turn, you have an additional end step. So for end step triggers, including her own, you get to double them. So whether that is Bator kind of things that are like, you bring things back in the end step, or with Ishtola Rule, it's you blink something. This seems pretty great. I think it's kind of like a Turbo Thassa. It costs more mana, it's more removable, but it does do double. Yep, blink plus end step shenanigans. It seems like an interesting Flicker commander. I think in Limited it also seems interesting. We've seen a couple strong enter the battlefield abilities. And at a 3-5, like, it's not the worst stat-wise. Jador, Aristocratic Capital. This is another one of the rare town ventures. It gives you infinite turns with Ultimecia. It does? Oh god. Target opponent mills half their library rounded down. Yeah, okay, that's annoying and limited. And then it's a land. Does this trigger on your opponent's turn? No, just yours. Also, you do have to bounce or flicker one of your own creatures to get the second end step. But you can target Ishtola. Because it doesn't say another. Yay, Mormo. Oh, here's Ultimecia. You just mentioned this. Yeah, it says under owner's control, unlike Thassa. Let's see. Ultimecia, temporal threat. Oh, absolutely, this goes in every single Bruvac deck. It's just another 6-mana mill your opponent for half. But it rounds down. Sometimes these round up. This one rounds down. Oh, somebody's asking, you want to start with Magic this set because of the Final Fantasy Club, but you don't know what to go for. Should you get a deck with a display or a general way of starting? If you've never played Magic before, the probably easiest way to get started is actually these things called starter decks. They're not powerful. I have one up here. I think I do. Okay, here we go. These are decks that are very low powered that are designed to be played against each other. They're meant to be like, hey, here's a cool deck you can play against your friend. They're balanced. They have cool characters. It is Cloud versus Sephiroth, but it is not just Final Fantasy cards in there. Also, everybody thinks Cloud and Sephiroth are cool, so, like, great way to start. And I don't think these are very expensive. I want to say the price on them is not bad. I'm going to double check what the current secondary market value is, because I don't know what MSRPs are anymore. Starter kit, Final Fantasy Magic. Looks like they're around $20 to $30, depending on where you buy them. You might be able to find them in a store when the set comes out for $20. If you want to play on Arena, you can just hop into Arena. You might actually be able to unlock the decks. Yep, you unlock the decks in Arena if you buy this. That's a digital client. That's what I usually play on. And that's a good way to get started playing more stuff. If you want to play at a local store, so not just like with friends at your house for game nights, there are what are called pre-con or pre-constructed decks. I know this is a total tangent, but it's important for me to say it. Like this one. Pre-constructed decks. Thank you, by the way, Wizards of the Coast, for sending me these, because I guess I'm an ambassador for this set. Sure, definitely. These are currently not selling for MSRP, but I think the price on them will fall as more of them get printed. So depending on which one you're interested in, this is for a format called Commander, which is like based around a legendary creature, and you theme it to the deck. There's 4 different ones. There's one for Final Fantasy VI. That's what I'm holding here. That's Terra. There's 6, 7, 10, and 14 are the different Final Fantasy that each got dedicated decks. So those are cool. Oh, and yes, right now I will not recommend people buy from TCG Player, which is a major card selling website. Unfortunately, they are also union busters. The union was coming together, so they decided to uproot their long-term business from Syracuse, New York, and move it to Kentucky so they can fire everybody and hire completely new staff for cheap and ununionized. Which is lame. Card Kingdom, though, they're unionized. Check them out. It's a longer shipping time for me from them because they're on the other coast, but still, as far as I know, like Card Market's fine, Card Kingdom's fine, yeah. It like depends on what country you're into for these. Right. Back to set review. I hope that helps. Ultimecia, Temporal Threat. 6 mana, 4/4. When it enters, tap all creatures your opponents control. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That doesn't give you infinite turns with this? I don't know what somebody was talking about with that. It taps their stuff, but like in end step. Oh, there's another Ultimecia. Okay, I guess I'll see the other one. This seems fine for limited though. It's the big sleep. Also, it enables some card draw. Kind of a cool ability that's usually on a 4-mana creature for the tapping of the things your opponents control. Plus, something that's also on a 4-mana creature, that whenever your creatures deal combat damage to an opponent, you draw a card. So you combine the two, you get a 6-mana 4/4. Neat. Would I like to compress time? Maybe. Amy, you can't draft this. It's not unlimited. Oh, it is not. Yep, it has a number 556, which means it is not draftable. That's too bad. That actually feels like a good card for draft. We can talk about black next. Starting with Scary Floating Eyeballs. Yay, Scary Floating Eyeballs.